This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower. I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. The Lord answered me and said, Write the vision, and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Makakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawadah from the Men of Valor campaign, Greenville, South Carolina, coming back with another video in sincerity and in truth. Lord willing, it can be edifying. And this is going to be, I said it through the spirit. I'm going to have to end up doing like a weekly thing with this, or, make this a damn series, because, there's so much coming up concerning this conflict with Russia and Ukraine, and the spirit has been on me to closely pay attention to the different things that's going on as far as news, not only on the Western news, but also more neutral, what's going on, what's being said, all right, the different propagandas on both sides. And I got this video right here from the Canadian Prepper, which he brings out a lot of good information concerning just overall, different articles I would have pulled for this to keep this, video from not being super lengthy. Just a bunch of reading. He sums it up very well. His sources are reputable. He goes into War News 24/7, zerohedge.com and whatnot. But there's been a lot of stuff going on. And I'm going to title this video something to the effect of, prepare for, a black swan event of some sort. All right. Or, a false flag. All right. Because that's exactly what, is being told is going to happen. They're just trying to make sure all their ducks in a row. All right. With this thing going on in Ukraine. But nonetheless, I'm going to let him speak. I brought out Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. Lord willing, I'm going to actually read it again. But we're definitely in the time of prophecy speaking. All right, we're in the time of World War III, man. All right, we know it's not fully going to pop off, but all right, these are the beginning stages, as we've been saying through the spirit over the last weeks and months. Without further ado, man, a lot of information. All right, Lord willing, you're edified.
Hi, folks, Canadian Prepper here. All right, guys, so we have some very critical information that we need to share with you today, according to the very distinguished and prestigious news source, The Sun, out of the UK. Yeah, not very distinguished or prestigious at all, but I guess distinguished enough to show up in Google's news feed. So we know it's probably a little bit of propaganda laden. But where there's smoke, there's fire. There's some truth to this, because we're going to relate this to some other things that have happened in the last 24 hours, namely a phone call that the Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu got from Lloyd Austin, and try to connect the dots with all of this so we can see exactly what these guys are planning. Now, according to this news source, the Russians were planning on detonating a nuclear weapon as a test on October 13th, but that this test has actually been postponed a couple times for a variety of reasons. We're going to see whether or not these claims can withstand analytical scrutiny at all. Now, the reason why they're saying it was postponed was because, on the one hand, there was some technical malfunctions, but they are also trying to make the claim that Putin was sabotaged by his general. So this is one of those hit pieces like, Putin's losing his grip on power type pieces. But there's some interesting things here, and I think in the context of what else is going on, we definitely should not ignore it altogether. Now, we know that in the current heightened, tense, anxious geopolitical environment, detonating a nuclear weapon, even as a test, would send shockwaves throughout the world. It would create worldwide panic.
Right, it would be, something that can definitely trigger an economic collapse. Just the introduction of nuclear weapons, whether there's been a test or whether it be, something that's controlled. I actually watched a video, I think another video by this guy right here, and he was explaining the difference between a tactical nuke and a strategic nuke. Now, when they speak about tactical nukes, these missiles or these bombs are still, very devastating. All right, but they're not on the level that where it would be all out nuclear destruction, which we know as to occur during the day of the Lord, which we know we're close, but we're not there yet. The nukes aren't going to fly, worldwide just yet. But it's something concerning a strategic nuke, and you'll see why the Russian defense minister has been on the phone lately with the American defense minister, so to speak. High ranking military personnel on both sides, is because hey, through the spirit, I see that they're about to be on one accord concerning this false flag. All right, but also just them having their ducks in a row to where it's not gonna, the missiles aren't gonna fly just yet, because, this is controlled. They're keeping that line of communication open. Like, hey, this ain't, we ain't about to just, press the button just yet, but they are about to test some shit, and it is scriptural that this war right here isn't gonna be fought the conventional way too long, man. All right, let's grab this as we always do. Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5. All right, it says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." So there's no coincidence that the whole talk of nuclear war, nuclear destruction, nuclear Armageddon, tactical nukes, kamikaze drones, that this type of warfare is not uncommon. It's actually written, like we just read, that this is how this war is going to be fought. No. Hey, so the second woe is past. Behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And hey, we're in World War III, man. Make no mistake about it. All right. And now it hasn't, that powder keg, so to speak, hasn't blown to where it just causes all these nations to go crazy. And, it's been a lot of war of words, and Matthew 24 refers it as to wars and rumors of wars, which is still end time prophecy. So make no mistake about it. These talks and whatnot, they're not going to go away. They're not going to die down. In fact, they're going to escalate, which means what? We know the MOTB is right around the corner as well, as we've been saying through the spirit. But something like this could easily send, the world economy into turmoil, and they're looking for a reason to crash this system, and they're going to blame it on whoever they're going to blame it on, but they need that boogeyman, so to speak. And this could be it. We'll just have to wait and see. But nonetheless,
Markets would tank, everything would be bad for a long time. Okay, and it would set a whole new precedent of strategic relations between the United States and Russia. But a test is a test. A test is not using it in the context of war. A test is likely to send a message. Now, if you know anything about the Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty between the United States and Russia, you'll know that tests are not allowed. And I think the last test was done over 3 decades ago. And but this Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty has pretty much been void for the last year, definitely, since the Russians have been invading Ukraine, and was supposed to be extended until 26. And I don't think it's officially been extended till 2026, because of course you have the Russians who are now committing to producing these Sarmat-2 missile delivery systems, which of course can contain up to 50 different nuclear warheads. And so it's seeming like that is about to fail, and that according to the Russians, Maria Zakharova, who's the spokesperson for the Russian Foreign Ministry, she claims that the United States have been welcomed to the negotiating table to jumpstart the New START treaty, but the United States has not been on board for some reason. That brings us to the call between Lloyd Austin and Sergei Shoigu, which was an hour-long call that took place just in the last 24 hours here. And the whole purpose of that call was to ensure that they have a line of communication open should something happen. Now, this is exactly what you see. This is not something that happens often. In fact, this hasn't happened since May 2022. The fact that Austin contacted Shoigu in the current geopolitical state of affairs is very, very concerning. That tells me that either side perhaps has intelligence that something big is about to happen. Now we know the Battle of Kherson, the real battle, is about to start within the next few days, possibly right now. We know it's ongoing, but the real big push by the Ukrainians starts soon. Some people on both sides are claiming that the other side is going to do a false flag and they're going to blow the hydroelectric dam, which will have disastrous humanitarian consequences, flooding out hundreds, if not thousands.
And this is that event that could, definitely jumpstart a major escalation. Okay, we're waiting and seeing. All right, but this is that Black Swan event, or that false flag that I was speaking about at the beginning of this video. Of what could happen. Now, it's at this point, it's not a matter of if it's going to happen. It's a matter of when it's about to happen and who is really behind it. All right, because each side is pointing at the other, saying, "Oh, well, you're doing it." And see, this is how the devil acts anyway, man. They do these little things and they blame the other side. And this is Edomite on Edomite warfare, crime, on the highest degree. All right, you have these two nations, which are both they're both Esau Edom, man. All right, those Russians, and the Ukrainians, as well as these Americans over here, they're all the same people, and they're moving and acting just like the serpent that they are, man. So a lot of uh hiding their hands, so to speak, doing things and blaming the other side, man. So you can't, it's hard to tell, who's coming from what, but nonetheless, an escalation is on its way, man. And something like this going off within the next, couple weeks or couple days, however long, whenever the Lord allows them to do it, as I said before, man, it would cause economic turmoil, economic devastation, man. The markets may tank, that day, man. And Lord willing, and soon. This is what we hope and pray for. All right, but nonetheless, this was that event.
Of square kilometers of land. Both sides are alleging that the other side are plotting a nuclear attack. People didn't believe me yesterday when I said that Russian state media is claiming that the Ukrainians are going to detonate a nuclear weapon around the town of Mykolaiv. I'm always going to butcher everything Ukrainian and Russian, so just forgive me in advance. But they're claiming that the Russians are going to the Ukrainians are going to detonate a nuke. They claim the Ukrainians have a nuke. YouTube fact checkers, this is just me purveying the information I heard on Russian state media TV. I'm not saying it's true, okay? Don't shoot the messenger. They are saying that the Ukrainians are going to detonate a nuke around Mykolaiv and then blame it on the Russians. Now, the Ukrainians are saying, no, the Russians are going to first detonate their hydroelectric plant when they lose in Kherson, and when they get chased back to the river, they're going to blame that on the Ukrainians, and that is going to be the pretext for using a nuclear weapon, either perhaps doing a nuclear test.
And this is all to really get America directly into this war. All right, however they set it up, which they'll probably do it, and the Western media will blame Russia, but America needs to get its people behind seeing Russia as that boogeyman, so that they could use it to, not only help crash the system, but gear up for World War III. And I can see it happening. Now whether it does happen or not, that's up to the Lord. But nonetheless, man, this would be major. You already have American troops all up in Poland. They're also, I believe, in another border. Basically ready to enter Ukraine. They're ready to directly confront Russia. All right, and that is World War III, because Russia is going to be backed by China and Iran, and North Korea. All right, and then China is also speaking about uh invading Taiwan, by the end of the year. So, you have that world war. That's your World War III right there, man. Now, so we know, according to the scriptures, something's going to happen, and it's going to bring them into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, man. All right, which I'm gonna finish off with that. That's exactly what we're seeing. Joel chapter 3, and start at verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Right, we're not in the time of preparing peace. The Lord has commanded these nations to prepare war. It says, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Why? Because these different nations, even nations like as small as Pakistan, actually have nuclear missiles now, man. So they're saying that they're strong. We could hold off. We could hurt you. Basically is what they're saying. Verse 11: Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither. Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Okay, so something's gonna happen, man, and it's ultimately gonna be taken down into the valley of Yahweh's decision, Salaki. Where the Lord is about to he gonna fuck these nations' armies up. But the valley of Yahweh Shaphat is over in the Middle East, man. All right, but right now, man, it's getting kicked off over in Ukraine. All right, and we'll have to see what else comes from that. Lord willing, they allowed us to go down because, man, this would, all hell would break loose, man. And it would be a major trickling down, domino effect, if you will, of different things that will come shortly after it. But wanted to share this information. Lord willing, is edifying. I like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. To the next time, Shalom.